welcome to Music Hills Season 2, Episode 10. How are you guys doing? I hope you're great, and it's Monday and I can't believe we're already in March and spring is falling on us and we're still in lockdown, but the kids went back to school today, so there's some hope. I hope you guys are all well out there. Let me see who is joining us. Hey Khalid, thank you so much for joining. Happy Monday. Okay, my name is Rita Morar and I am a fusion musical artist, and this is my series Music Hills. Music Hills is a non-scripted conversation with a creative individual to find out what music really means to them. And I've been doing this for the past year and it's just been absolutely phenomenal. I say this past year, we've got like 2 weeks until its first anniversary, would you believe it? I just can't believe that we've just come around so soon. And I don't know where this year's gone, but hey, we're rolling with it, and then hopefully we'll be out of lockdown summer. I don't know. Let's see how it all goes. So yeah, we've got the amazing Silverfinger Singh. I'm so honored that he's joining me today. Such a bundle of talent. It's amazing, and we'll get to speak to him in a bit. I would also like to wish everybody, sausages on, hello mum. And Mum, I would like to wish all the amazing women out there a very happy International Women's Day. This is close to my heart, obviously. Always fighting to be heard, whichever way we are. And as stated by IWD, a challenge world is an alert world, and from challenge comes change. So this year's theme is choose to challenge. So what are we going to challenge? Are we going to challenge normality? Are we going to challenge closed doors, equality, the limitations that we put on ourselves to be out there heard? Yeah, it's a big deal. We've come a long way, ladies. And I was able to get a few of my ladies that have actually featured on Music Hills. And I'd like to play you a little video of what they choose to challenge this year. And yeah, and just sit back and watch this and let me know what you feel. My name is Rita Morar and I'd like to wish you all a very happy International Women's Day 2021. The theme for this year is Choose to Challenge. I choose to challenge the limitations that I tend to put on myself as an independent female artist in this industry. I hope to keep on creating for you, and I hope I am inspiring everybody out there with my series Music Hills. What are you choosing to challenge this year?
Hi, I'm Parvko. Happy International Women's Day. I want to challenge fear. Fear of not becoming who I want to be. Fear of what others would think. Fear of not achieving my goals. I want to challenge fear. I want to be able to become strong and challenge it head on. And with a strong team like Eternal God and the support of my friends and family, why can't I achieve it?
Yes, and that was a little video of women in music that have featured on Music Hills. I hope you keep supporting everybody out there, men and women, but there is a bit of a struggle when it comes to women being heard in the music industry. So please keep on supporting, keep on sharing the music, and give all the love. We are all equal when it comes to music. I'd like to thank all the ladies involved as well, and you know who you are. Big, big love to you guys. Few announcements to make before I do my Rita's rendition. We have a website. So last week I was able to share with you guys I have now a dedicated website, musichills.info, where you can get all the info. So if someone actually asks you what is Music Hills, you can say, actually, if you go to musichills.info, you'll be able to find it all. So it's all there. So just take it all in and enjoy the previous episodes that you may have missed. And also I have set up as well Buy Me a Coffee, so if you would like to contribute to me giving you the best I can for Music Hills, please do contribute and buy me a coffee or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever you want. But all your support for me anyway is amazing, so thank you so much for all your help. Now let's move on quickly, because I know I want to get Silverfinger on, but I have to sing this before I start. Rita's rendition, I didn't put it because I was thinking, what shall I sing for you guys today? And I am going to sing the one and only Habibi. I have to sing Habibi because if you guys know what Habibi is all about, you'll know it's all about female empowerment, and all the women that I had actually featured on there dancing to a song that was universal from all walks of life. So I'd like to dedicate this to all the ladies out there and all the men, and just keep dancing away, and then we'll get Silverfinger on, okay? So Habibi for you guys, and big love to Drifter who produced this for me. So much love for you.
जो मिलता सुकून है तेरा, जैसे जादू कोई कर गया। तारे में किनके याद तुझे करती हूँ, अब तू ही बता। सपने सजा ले मेरा, हाँ क्या है इरादा तेरा। Whatever you feel makes this feel so real. सपने सजा ले मेरा, yeah. Woo.
Let's go.
अब तू ही बता। सपने सजा ले मेरा, क्या है इरादा तेरा। Whatever you feel makes this feel so real. सपने सजा ले मेरा, yeah.
we've done, Habibi. Thank you to everyone who supported Habibi out there. It's just been fantastic, and big love to all the women, and happy International Women's Day to all of you. Keep rocking and stay amazing. Now, let's get Silverfinger on, and when he does come on, make sure you do give him all the fires and the hearts, because I can't wait to have him on. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Sat Shri Akal. What are you saying?
Ji, how are you?
Oh, but yeah, I love that. Love that. You're sounding great there.
Do you know what I was saying to you? Silverfinger is just like, I'm doing everything by myself. I'm like, I can't keep up today. I think I need to write my, into my glasses. How are you doing, man?
Yo, I'm feeling blessed, really feeling blessed, super blessed to be on this with you today as well, man. So big up to,
nice.
all Rita and her supporters, thank you for always showing my sister love, yeah? Big up yourselves. Music kills, you get me?
Totally. So we've got Silverfinger on. So if you guys have any questions for us, you know what it's all about. It's an open script. It's an open conversation. If you've got questions for Silverfinger or myself, just drop them in the comments. And if you've got any comments or anything you just want to share with us, just make sure it's all music related. Just put them in the comments, and then we will big you up as well. So Silverfinger, let's start it off. Who are you and what do you do?
Okay. No worries. Thank you, Rita. So my name is Raj, Silverfinger Singh. Get that gully. Hope you're all doing well. An amazing vibe to be on this here, live stream today, Music Heals. I'm a musician and a writer. I'm from Leeds. Got a
big up
grew
Leeds.
up in a very big up Leeds, man. LEEDS, you know how we do.
Yes.
And being a musician writer for many years, since the age of 15. Shout out to Vinny. Being writing away, writing songs, performing live. I've toured. I will, Vinny.
We'll get to that, Vinny. And it all made sense as well when Raj told me, he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
So then, all right, we'll get back to it. I've got a whole scenario in my head about this. We'll get back to it.
Yeah, man. So as a musician, I've had the opportunity to tour. I've been up and down this country. I've been to Europe. So it's been an absolute blessing. And over the last 3 years, I am now a professional broadcaster. So I broadcast on BBC Radio Leeds, representing for that and flavour, on a Saturday night, so big up to
Saturday night as well, Raj. That is prime,
Yeah, man, lots of love, man. There's been so much love and support for the show, over the last 2 years.
What's it called?
So it's called a mixtape.
Okay.
Called a mixtape. So we started on a Monday, and we are now on a Saturday. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. So that big up to you, man.
Man. Shout out to Dad Mish as well, man. You know what I mean? Tabras family, you don't know the thing.
He's got so much love for everyone. Big love, Dams. Kully's like, I'm scared to ask. Don't worry, it's all legit. It's all legit. Nothing wrong.
We're gonna go straight into it, man. So,
Let's do it. Okay, why are you called Silverfinger Singh, Raj?
So I mean, first of all, the name was given to me. You know what I mean? So my father goes by the name of Mr. Inder Goldfinger Matharu. Percussionist, tabla extraordinaire, and
legend.
Absolute legend. For British Asian music, out there winning awards. In the early 90s when Bhangra and hip hop fusion wasn't really a thing per se. So he's been representing on that international stage now for many years, and just naturally, me growing up around him and his mates, and it was just a natural thing. Yo, where's young Silver? Oh no,
oh wow!
I've got this new CD for him and this and that. So it's a name that was given to me, but a name that I had to first of all find a lot of inner strength before I could really embrace it. At the end of the day, when you're representing your legacy, your father's legacy, you have to do it. You have to do it justice. So man.
Inder Goldfinger is a legend. So it didn't click to me, and it was like one of those moments. And so I was reading the bio that Raj sent to me, and I was like, oh right, Silverfinger Singh. Wow, I love the name anyway, right? And that was one of my questions. So when it was in your bio, it clicked. I was like, oh my god. Okay, gold finger. Then we got silver finger. Hopefully there'll be a bronze finger somewhere along the way, but that'll be later on in life and stuff. But we'll get to that, in another generation.
No, he's already here, Rita.
Ah!
He's the diamond. He's the diamond. You get me? So
amazing.
He went up. You get me? So
bless him. Give him my love. Okay, so right, let's get into it. Yeah. What does music mean to you?
Music means absolutely everything, So as mentioned, as a very young lad, surrounded by all these amazing sounds, instruments, different ustads, music was absolutely everything to me, from the turntables, from, spending time at the Gurdwara, being part of...
It always starts from God, right?
Absolutely,
from high energy, whoever you
absolutely,
believe.
Yeah, that that real ice, So being part of the Sangat, Shabda, Kirtan, it was something that was literally, it's part of our blood, isn't it? Yeah, so it's ingrained within me. So, I was exposed to it from a very young age, learning tabla drums from my father, and naturally, I was presented as part of, the Sangat, performing with the other young students, and from
did you start, Raj, like playing any instruments at that time, or was it more shubs and stuff?
It was yes, my uncle shout out, don't know the family. Happy birthday to Ava Grace as well, you don't know the thing. So naturally it was for me, I was grew up a tabla student. And from there, when it was time to give somebody else the opportunity to perform tabla, then it was get behind the harmonium, and practice and perform.
So you play the vajra as well? Oh my God. Bro, I'm coming up to Leeds. We're going to jam.
Absolutely. I'm blessed to say, I had some amazing teachers around me growing up. So
bless them.
Right there as well, man. Yeah,
if you need love in the hair. If only you knew how much dry shampoo I had in my head to get it like this. And your hair's looking good too, Raj. So you started from the kirtans and stuff, and then you had this passion, and obviously father was guiding you the way. So my next question would have been that. Did you grow up to listen to music around the house and stuff? Yeah. And what was the typical Saturday morning? What would you be listening to with the family? And obviously there would have been some radio or something going on. But how we are. We always have some music back on.
100%. So weekends were weekend mornings were a lot of time being together. Doing our Simran in the morning, starting the days right, and then my dad would be very excited to come Raj. I got a DAP, which was the old school cassettes, after cassettes it was a DAP, and that's what we used to use in the studios as part of the mix before CDs were as accessible. It was DAP tapes, So my pops would be like, "Yo, come, we've got these DATs here from this week's session. Let's have a listen to them." And we'd spend a lot of time, going through the mixes and things like that. And as well as that, from when he's been out, recording for other artists and things like that, he'd be bringing back their volumes of work and, new CDs that come through the post from different record labels. So, we spent a lot of time just playing so many great sounds. So, from our traditional folk Bhangra music to hip hop sounds, to reggae sounds, to then more pop sounds,
So it's quite diverse. It was diverse way, in your household, that's a great thing.
100%. Everything from Bob Marley to Lenny Kravitz. So many different artists. Just absolutely blessed. So much amazing music around me, and then I spent a lot of time. Obviously, as you do, you imitate your parents. So what did my dad do? He's a drummer. He's a performer.
Did you go to the shows with Goldfinger?
Well, of course. As and where I could. So it was all the classical performances that I could go to as a younger, audience participant, let's just say. All the Indian classical events that my father would perform at, So in terms of exposure to that, that's where that came. So, naturally, with him being an MC and a performer, these were all the things I saw him do. I also would do the same. When he was gone on the road, it was just me surrounded by all this equipment. So what else are you going to do? You're going to do your riyaz, aren't you? You know what I mean? So I spent a lot of time, rehearsing his songs as if I was him, of course, dress up like him. Dress up like him,
Little mini me.
My sisters and whichever cousins were around, they'd form the rest of the band.
Yeah.
We just do our performances, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, let's just go deep. Back then, Spice Girls were a big thing. Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Work for HMV, so she got us a lot of the you know, the Spice Girls cool stuff, yeah, from the albums to the video documentaries, you know what I mean. So spent a lot of time watching that as well, and inspired by, you know, Mel C and beyond. Do you get what I'm saying? Mel B being so I'm like, wow, this is just music on our doorstep, you know. You know, like the producer was from Sheffield. Do you know what I mean? So a big Yorkshire influence right there. So, you know, on my doorstep, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know, very much inspired by all these amazing sounds, you know. So yeah, and the art of performance just came naturally, like I said, you know, from the Gurdwara to where we are now. You know?
Yeah. How different was it, Raj? Like, you know, being in the Gurdwara and you doing your shabs and kirtans, and then like, was it like parallel? Would you still go? I mean, I'm not saying that you don't go Gurdwara anymore, but what I'm trying to say is that this happened because I was in a band at such a young age. You know, I had my Bollywood band, I was singing, and then at the same time I had like bhajans to go to, and I was trying to keep it all like level, and then at the same time studying and doing whatever, you know, trying to get that education out there. Was it so important to you as well to, you know, like your parents telling you that, like, or have that as well, you know, in the background, and just keep moving forward and whatever you can learn, because learning, I mean, that only grows us, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, in one of the first songs that I ever wrote, it was called Repping Leeds, yeah, because you rep where you come from. Yeah. And in there, the lyrics were, I've forgotten off the top of my head, but basically it was along the lines of, you know, growing up, I want to do music. Dad said, yeah, that's okay, but Mum wants a degree. Essentially, yeah. So Dad was like, "Yo, I approve the music, of course, but Mum wants a degree." So yeah, I wish I could have spat the full bar there for you, but it's been many years since I performed that song live. But you know, it's there in the back catalogue. But yeah, so you know, for me, you know, education, school, you know, it was really interested. My interests were all, you know, were in so many different directions, from music to sport, and you know, we all just had a lot of fun, didn't we? As much as, you know, going to school was to learn, it was about developing, it was about having fun, it was socializing, you know. So I spent a lot of time, you know, being involved in so many different things. But ultimately, I wasn't sure which path to go down because I was surrounded by so much, per se. You know what I mean? So ultimately, you know, I spent time after school. I got involved in after school clubs, music production courses, things like that. And then from there, that's when I made my decision. I was like, right, cool. You know, there's a learning that I can put. Exactly.
Brilliant.
So, you know, from there, when I got the understanding that yes, there is actual music education that you can take, you know, and further progress, you know, not just the theory behind it, you know what I mean, but practical as well. That's when I was like, yeah, I will take this step now, you know, because a lot younger, you know, GCSE's time, I was really unsure. So, you know,
it's hard, isn't it, though, when you know that there is a passion that you have. And then at the background, then your generations are telling you, you know, you need to have an education. Because I was that, you know, like my mum and dad always supported me whatever I wanted to do. And if I wanted to give up my education, they would have said, yeah, which was quite rare for a woman to have that backing back in the 90s. But, you know, still put at it. But I knew my music was my passion. And it's kind of hard, isn't it? Because you're like torn in between the two, but you want to do the best.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's you know, it's something, you know, like, so once you finish school, that's where your focus takes you to, you know what I mean? So it was either, for me, it was football or spitting bars or production. So, you know, I'm grateful that I had, you know, a lot of great mentors and teachers, you know, that I got to meet along the way who encouraged, you know, because a lot of people, if they wanted to, they could, you know, quite easily discourage people. Whereas I'm grateful that, you know, the people that I met, you know, along my journey were very, very encouraging towards me, pushed me in the right direction, showed me the relevant avenues that you can take. So, you know, from there, that was my springboard, you know. Did the after school music production class, you know, took everything that I already knew and then applied, you know, from the new learning that I taught, you know, based on, you know, because growing up for me, it was all very analog based, you know, production. It was all hardware. Whereas, you know, by the time I was in high school, it was the whole digital revolution. It was, Acid Pro and all these amazing softwares, Reason and you name it. And that, from there, getting that, actual theory behind software and learning it, that's when I was able to then further develop, actually get into the studio. And that's where I learned Logic 7 Pro.
Yeah. Wow. 7. We're talking 7. Wow.
We're talking 7.
So we need to come to you for lessons when it comes to Logic, because I'm just literally fluking my way through YouTube videos at the moment.
At the end of the day, look, we all have different learning styles, and a majority of the time, it's seeing and then doing, isn't it? Yeah. So that's where YouTube can be a great place, So always encourage, YouTube tutorials, definitely. So from going from analog to digital, I was like, right, cool. So first of all, there's a course that I can take. Software is now on it, and I'm learning the software, and I can do this. Let's get behind the desk and start to write, and then with that, let's start recording vocals now. So it was a long process, and thankfully, with the grace of God, I got to college. Got to do a fantastic college course. Music production, video and audio. So I explored both sides. That's when the radio came to me, because that was a part of the module. And then from there, I went on to work in community radio.
That's amazing.
Then from there, we went to university and then did a complete degree in creative audio and sound technology.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. You know what, Raj? When I was growing up, and then I did A-levels, I did media studies. And not many people know this, but I wanted to be a journalist.
Okay.
I did media studies, and then it came to the crunch because my father was ill a little. So then I had to drop one, and I was doing English literature, law, and media studies. I decided to drop media studies, and I remember from the exam, I walked out halfway through because I knew I was going to drop it anyway. My media tutor came running after me and said, "Rita, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm dropping it." My head wasn't straight, and he's like, "It's such a shame because you're going to do so well if you stick at it." And I'm like, and then after that, and then that's the biggest regret of my life, because that media studies could have helped me now of where I could have been, But hey, that's life, isn't it? It's how it pans, but it also goes to show that whatever's meant to be in your life will come round. Anyway, regardless of what's happening, here I am, with Music Hills at the moment. So It's really great that you were able to do music production at such a young age, because to take it all in and learn the ins and outs of it, how important was that, Raj, for you?
Very important, because ultimately, they're building blocks, for the foundation. Ask my uncle, he's a builder, he's watching now,
Hey, big up Uncle G.
You need those bricks and mortar for your foundation, because ultimately then you've got nothing to step on, and then you've got nothing to then place your ladder on to then start that climb, So absolutely, regardless of what field you're in, the practical and the theory, is very, very important. So, shout out to everybody who commits themselves, because ultimately, with education, what a degree is, it's a commitment to show that you can start something and you can finish something. And, that's what the bare basics are of doing the degree. It's the commitment. Can you do it? Can you start it? Can you finish it? So shout out to everybody who's, committing their time to their craft, whatever field it might be, big up to you guys, man. Never give up.
Never give up, and it's never too late as well. Keevan's got a big love. Keevan is my husband. Keevan, thank you. He's asking Raj, favorite instrument if you choose one. So what's your favorite instrument?
Has to be my original instrument, which is the tabla, 2 drums.
Okay.
Yeah, tabla. So
why?
Why? It's got an amazing story. It started. So from playing like that was 2 drums, actually was originally one barrel.
Oh, see, I don't know about this.
Yeah, and it came from the Bakawaj. Okay, and the amazing story is basically this amazing teacher, tabla player, Bakawaj player. Yeah, they were meditating by the river Indus, and it's a barrel, isn't it? Yeah, when you look at any Dolak, Bakawaj, yeah, it was a barrel essentially. So it's the barrel drum, yeah? And this barrel rolled down the hill, and it cracked on a rock by the river Indus, yeah? And then Ustadji found it like that. So from being a barrel, it cracked like that. And that's just the greatness from God, yeah? Guruji, where basically, they allowed that to happen, yeah? And that's what then gave, wow, I can flip it like that, and you can actually play it on top, and you can get real control. Because you can imagine you're playing like that sideways. I'm trying to get my hand on the camera.
It's like a tolki, isn't it? Yeah.
It comes from the tolki, right? Which has no shy, yeah. I mean, it has on the inside, but it's single tone, yeah. Unless you dip your hand to change the tone. Whereas tabla, you got the shy on the top. Yeah, and that's what gives you those extra dimensions of the tone. So essentially, playing that way, there's only so much control you can get when you're playing that way, left to right. Whereas when you're on top, you can actually get that real buzzing, on the, and you can really get
bass.
And so for me, that's my favorite instrument. Why? Because it is the foundation stone to my life. If there was no tabla, I probably might not be here today, Rita. A real talk. So ultimately, that is my favorite instrument. Why? Because it's so multi-dimensional. You can do so many different things with it, and it is the voice of who we are. Because with tabla, you have to speak it before you can play it. As you know, Rita, learning sargam, learning scale, tabla is a language, it's a tal, and it's about rhythm, timing, and you got to know it, and you got to speak it before you can play it. No one will let you touch anything until you can practice your ball,
That's
and
amazing.
what is ball? Speech, So, man, Kevin, big up to yourself, my bro, Lovely.
So Ustadji was in the G, for you?
My father, what, I'm blessed to say many ustads, but my number one is obviously my star. You get me, Mr. Goldfinger. But I've had the pleasure of learning tabla and amazing instruments from so many different people. So absolutely blessed.
Do you have a favorite rhythm that you play on the tabla?
Well, at the end of the day, another foundation stone for me is Teen Tal. So it's a 16 beat.
What is that?
Tal. 16 beats. So it's da, din, din, da, da, din, din, da, da, din, din, da, da, din, din, da, 16.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So many different tals, Japtal, Ektal, Dadra, Kerwa, so many amazing tals. To accompany specific shabda. Because at the end of the day, each shabad is sung to key, it's sung to a rhythm, and each rhythm is then accompanied by the correct tal, essentially. So
there's so much, guys. There's so much that we could go into with, like the Vedic, the roots of what tal is and sargam is and sequences. This is why it's so important to know the music inside out, and you say that, like Raj, with learning it all, unfortunately back in the 90s, I couldn't find a good guru. For me to like learn my singing, but now I've been blessed and I'm learning. I haven't been for a couple of years because I had to stop, and obviously now we're in the pandemic. But once the lockdown is done, I'm going to get back onto that, and I'm going to do that. For me, my harmonium, which is just there, I played that off the fly. It was God's gift that was given to me. So it's just so important to know your sequences, guys, and if anyone's ever thinking of taking up that tradition of learning, please do. And if it ever comes by your way, there's a reason for why, and it's a blessing.
Exactly.
So don't take it. So we've got a few questions here. Come, guys, you guys are very quiet today. Let's hear a bit more from you. Like Khalees asked, can you play the sarangi?
Sarangi, wow. No. Sorry.
It's a beautiful instrument. It's a beautiful instrument.
I know people who play an array of stringed instruments, but not me personally.
We're rhythm. We'll come back to your question in a bit, Vinny. So, Raj, are you going to give us some bars? Tell us about what came out like recently, and we will be talking about obviously your first EP and everything, but let's have some bars from you so then peeps know what you're all about.
Yes,
Let's get into it.
Silverfinger Singh signing in alongside Rita Morar, Music Hills. You don't know the thing. Yeah, we're celebrating International Women's Day. And in January, on my birthday, actually, 26th of January this year, I released a song dedicated to one of the most powerful women in my life, which was my grandmother and my mother as well. And this song is a cappella from my latest single. It's titled The Core. So shout out to all the women celebrating today, international. This is your time, sisters and mothers. Yo, tade haptande paronte, sved no me kaunga, joto si samjaya, hord ni sa kaunge. You always believed in, put your faith in me. All you asked in return was to stand by me. You know, I never tried to let you down. You told my father even when I wasn't round. I tried to sneak up the stairs early hours of the morning as I tiptoed past. I'd always hear her calling, first to state when she know I done wrong, first to protect when I wasn't feeling strong. I only moved forward with her guidance and her blessings. I remember mixing songs too loud. She would be stressing but always smiling, especially when she saw the progress. Come back with show money, leave it by her headrest. She'd always tell me stories of the past, and she knew one day I'd take the legacy and never look back.
Oh my God.
Ready for verse 2?
Amazing. Yes. Go for it. Go for it.
Even when I'm down, I can always see your voice. I will never and give up the right choice. I knew the young lion was on his way. She told us, be strong and don't forget to pray. I'll always think back and remember those days, chilling outside, laughing in the sun rays. She'd always share her wisdom and she'd always give me praise. As a youth growing up, I never wanted her to change. She'd always tie my hair and say, never be afraid to rise up with the light and to never be swayed. I remember waking late, she'd be pulling up the covers, pushing me to see new things that I'd discover. What happened in the past and how we came here. Chilling in the cold with no one to wipe a tear. She provided every day, walk in without fear. She said, whatever happens, I will always be near. I remember great times, stood firm by her side, together as a family, holding our hands tight, roaring like a lion, wear my turban with pride, raised as warriors, never giving up the fight.
Hey! Is there verse 3?
No.
I don't want to put you up. Sorry, bro.
Oh, good.
That was amazing.
I mellowed out the start of the second verse there, but big up to everybody, man. Thank you.
Hey, you know what? It was amazing, and the fact that you mentioned Bronte, right? It was like, you know, that's home for us, right? I know it's food, but it's home for us, and at home, you know, anyone that says to me Bronte or Bronte, I remember my mum, and you know, and it is just the way it is.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to write that, bro?
Yeah, very, very important, you know. Joto si samjaya horni sakaunge. You get me? Big, you know, big vibes there for me.
What does that mean for those that don't know?
Yeah, no problem at all. So basically what I'm saying there is, in the morning, I would always eat your freshly prepared food. And all the lessons that you taught me, ain't nobody else on this earth will be able to share those messages with you, you know? So never disregard what the elders tell you, you know what I mean? So thank you. So, you know, the track right there, the core, dedicated to all the mothers and sisters of this world, Mother India, you know, Mama Africa, yeah. And, you know, ultimately it was a song written about my late grandmother who left us in 2012. Yeah. And I spent a lot of time in contemplation, you know, in thought. And, you know, the time came about 2 years ago. I was like, right, I need to stop thinking about her and missing her. I need to now, you know, embrace this feeling and put it into song, you know. And then that's where the lyrics came. Wow. And then when the lyrics came, that's when the beat came. She loved reggae music, Rita. So I grew up, you know, as you know, in a very diverse household. She loved Bob Marley. So when we play Marley on the vinyl, she would love it. She'd buzz, you know, Buffalo, you know it, jamming, everything, yeah. She was all over it, you know. Her favorite song, she would always buzz. So, that's amazing. Yeah. So, you know, when the time came, naturally, it had to be a reggae beat for her, you know, because that's how much she loved the music.
That's so beautiful to hear. Isn't it amazing how a lot of people, like, are connected to reggae, like, because they feel it?
Yeah,
Even like my
absolutely.
father and my brother, you know, big love if you guys are watching out there, Ravi and
Yeah,
Dad
of
and
course.
Mum. They love reggae, and you
They
know,
came from
there's
that
always
generation.
sorry, yeah, they came from the generation that listened to the words as well as the music. Not
Yeah,
saying that people don't listen to the words now, but the words hit hard when Bob the King, you know, like
yeah.
spat his like lyrics and stuff. So you
Absolutely,
know, it's just
absolutely. I
amazing.
mean, it was music with a message. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was a chant. It was about bringing people together. You know, it was
Mm.
celebrating not only the happiness but the sadness as well. You know,
Yeah,
and ultimately,
totally.
its founding roots are blues music. You know,
Yeah,
and what were the blues about? It was about songs of empowerment and strength. You know, during some very difficult times for
yeah.
people. So yeah, that's why we naturally warm towards it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm.
as great as our music from our homeland is in terms of empowering people,
Yeah.
music from different parts of the world has different messages, and it's always good
Yes.
to just broaden your horizons. You know what I mean? Because as
Yeah.
fun as it is listening to songs about fun things, you have to also do your research and learn about the difficult times as well, and that's where these songs and movements and sounds like this
Yeah.
came
Mm-hmm.
from, and that's why we embrace it still today.
Bless, bless. That's so true, guys. Thank you so much. You know, there's so much like wisdom here. I'm like just literally blown away, Raj. It's just
Oh,
amazing. We've got some questions. Please come. There's a few questions that I know, guys, you are asking, so I'll hold on to them for now.
all right.
Raj, who were your inspirations? We just talked about, obviously, King, legend, Marley. Who else has inspired you along the way, apart from Uncle G as well? So, you know,
Yeah.
who's inspired you?
Yeah, wow. So many, so all, from all the musicians who walked through my door as a young child, or my father's friends. Yeah. So all the record label CDs that used to get sent to our house, all those
Yeah.
amazing artists. But
CDs,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Those are the
CDs,
times,
vinyl,
isn't it? I bet you like guys got
absolutely.
so many CDs in your loft, right?
Yeah.
Or like and tapes and tape decks.
Absolutely, absolutely. I keep it old school. I still keep a cassette player in my car.
Hey, oh, you know
Just
what? I think I'm gonna have to revive it. You know,
yeah,
like just before lockdown came, like
yeah,
about what is that store called? Outfitters, yeah, Urban
yeah. Urban
Outfitters,
Outfitters. Yeah,
and
all
they
right.
had like a vinyl player, and it's like 60, 80 quid, whatever it was, and I'm like,
Yeah,
we've got one in the in the loft, I'm sure
yeah,
we have, or we've got tape deck, or we've got something, I'm sure we have,
yeah, man. We got
and
Urban Outfitters.
you know what, we
Absolutely,
go back to that generation that we were blessed to have that in our lives, and
100%.
we learned from just the graft of
Yeah,
the inspirations that we had to learn and stuff, because
yeah,
we grafted ourselves as well that way.
absolutely.
So yeah, so the inspirations are there. Let's move on to your song of solace.
All right,
Oh,
Ben. Let me tell you a little bit about the inspirations first.
yeah, sure,
Very
sure.
quickly,
Yeah,
drop you a couple artists and things like that. So
of course.
yeah, so
Yeah,
as you mentioned, the whole Marley Foundation,
yeah.
massive influence. Just because of all the reggae music that's on my doorstep here in Chapeltown in Leeds. Yeah, so a foundation, in terms of like the Leeds Carnival, and the
Yeah.
impact it has for our community here. So reggae music, massive part of my life. From hip hop artists, from like Biggie, Pac, Big L,
Yeah.
so many different hip hop artists,
Yeah.
Punisher, Nas, to nowadays Jay-Z's, like so many amazing hip hop artists that influenced, because hip hop became a really big thing, especially during whilst I was growing up.
Yeah.
After the roots and rock, it came the hip hop. So so much time for hip hop, and then as the 2000s came, came the likes of a massive increase of Asian people
Yeah.
writing music here in the UK, especially. So shout out to local legends RDB. They were a massive
Yes.
influence for me. Once again, right on my doorstep. Had the pleasure of going to many of their video shoots. Back when I was a young teenager. So some great times. Because I were friends of the family, so I was allowed
Yeah.
to come, at certain times. So yeah, it was an amazing
Yeah.
amazing time for me, so inspired by so many people, got to meet so many different MCs, growing up, seeing so many amazing people live as well. So just inspired by so many, and my friends as well. I'm inspired by so many of my friends, artists like yourself as well, Rita, just consistently inspired by the work rate, and we keep each other going, because when we see friends just dropped a new track, it's like, right, let's go listen to that. 9 times out of 10 you've already heard it, because that friend's already said it to you, and it's that momentum, and it's like you get inspired off their latest single, they then get inspired by your previous single, and it's just that consistent snowball that's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So just shout out to everybody who is pushing positive sounds, and yes, please keep inspiring the next generation.
So how important is support for you, Raj?
Support is a massive thing. I mean, at the end of the day, there's been times in my life where as a musician, I've just quietly gotten on with things, and expectations were a completely different time. Back in my day, there was no Facebook, there was no Insta Live, this, that, there was no YouTube. It was like MySpace, and that was about it. That was like...
That's how I started as an artist, a solo artist, MySpace. I think we were talking about this the other day. I think I still got my profile up, my 5 best friends or whatever. Don't know who they are in there, but
and so in terms of support, Rita, we have personally come from times where support was wasn't there like online. It was actually face to face. It was seeing somebody, it was sending someone you see in the post, and then hearing back from them a few weeks later. So support is a massive thing. Encouragement is something that we have the absolute blessed opportunity to give to somebody else on a daily basis, because at the end of the day, look, we're all human, we're all here to do the same things, which is to do good and do good by others. And if the opportunity comes for you to just send somebody a message to say big up, then why not do that? Why not encourage somebody? Why discourage?
It doesn't cost anything. And it doesn't, and the only cost it will be is your time. But that time that you invest in somebody it'll come back to you. Not that you expect it, right? You give something without expectations. Exactly. But however, if you're lifting another human being up, and this is why I'm so honored that, when comes down to Music Heals, I think it's just so important that there is support out there, not only for Music Heals, this is just a platform to get people talking and, to understand people's journeys. Because no matter what, we are all in music, and music heals us. It does heal us, I can say that with my full heart, because that's what it's done for me. And that's why I've always pondered what it means to other people. And if we don't have that support system in our industry, which I really think is so important, and hence why I actually put that little video together of, us knowing what the female artists are feeling today, it means a lot. It means a lot. So I think support is a big thing, and exactly what you said, bro, this is how we rise together, and then we if one of us is in, all of us is in. That's how you say it, and I learned that from Swati.
Exactly. Don't down each other, crown each other. Lift people up.
Don't down each other, crown each other. I love that. That's going to be my WhatsApp status now. All right, let's move on to Song of Solace. Sorry to cut you off there earlier, bro. Song of Solace, if you guys are tuning in very first time, Song of Solace is something I ask my guests. Basically, I have a Spotify playlist on Spotify under my profile, Rita Morar, and it's #Music Heals. And I ask each individual what their Song of Solace is. So if I was cruising down the road with Raj, I'll say, Raj, okay, put your Song of Solace on. Something that's going to give you great energy and just heals you, What is your choice, bro? Who is it by and why?
Okay. So my choice. So it's a great question, this, and
it's a very hard question as well, right?
It's a very hard question, but big up to you, Rita, and what you're doing on the platform. Music Heals, Song of Solace. So it took me a while to really pick, because I went through. Because when you think,
did you go down memory lane with all your songs? I think a lot of people do that. In the run up, they're like, Rita, I get so many guests Rita, I can't do one song. Can I have 2 songs? I'm like, okay, we'll have 2 songs. Because I know it's so hard.
My playlist here, Rita. Come on. Yeah, no, I hear you, and I'm sure, as it was for me, I'm sure it was very difficult for a lot of people that you've asked.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many different soundscapes and songs that have shaped me personally growing up, and things that I've always turned to in difficult situations. We discussed it earlier. Shabdan Kirtan,
Yeah.
prayers,
Mm-hmm.
soundscapes in general. But in terms of just picking one song, I think I've made the right choice here. So
You have.
personally, I've gone for. Oh, thank you. So personally, for all the listeners, my personal choice for my song of solace is Bob Marley and the Wailers, "Lively Up Yourself."
Amazing choice. Why?
Well, it's in the song, isn't it? Lively up yourself and don't be no drag. You know what I mean? So, yeah, growing up for me, I like when I've listened to it growing up, it was just you're just automatically taken away by the music. Yeah. Especially when you listen to it during his live performances. Yeah. So the studio cut is brilliant, but when you hear him perform it live and the whole Wailers, like, wow.
Yeah.
And you automatically are just taken away and you're uplifted. By these sounds and the spirits within the sounds and the lyrics, you're automatically lifted upwards. Yeah, because that is the message. These songs were written during very, very difficult times to lift the people. Yeah. So the hook, lively up yourself and don't be no drag. Don't drag your knuckles in the sand. Yeah, we are all equal people here. Yeah, we're all one together. Let's stand strong. Let's stand firm.
Yeah.
And when I second
absolutely
that. It's only when you're older that you can really appreciate certain sounds, certain songs, certain lyrics. And this is one song, one anthem that stuck by me in every playlist from back in the day, in those cassettes with the tape on top, so you can dub your favorite tunes on it.
How many times did we do that?
Yeah. Or
stick like tissue in there or something.
Yeah. Sellotape, boom. Wow. Yeah. Or to then fast forward sometime, those USB MP3 pens. Yeah. Or
I had one the other day. I got a USB here. It's really sad. I was looking for a USB the other day and I couldn't find it. Then I came across 6, which is really funny.
Yeah, and they were like 128, don't even know megabytes, whatever the size were back in the day. They weren't even nothing. Yeah. Compressed tracks. So to that, to then the iPods, to the to the Blackberries, to all the all the great tech. I've always had that track on my go-to list, when no matter what, whether you're feeling good, you're feeling down, you're feeling left, feeling right, play that, you're feeling blessed, So yeah, it's definitely one song that I would love to share with you all.
It's a beautiful track. It's I couldn't ask for a better one. And Wailers again, we come back to the Wailers and Bob and little of my little claim to fame is singing with Juna Marvin, who is the part of the Wailers, and that was at Glastonbury, and that was a God's blessing. It was like, I think his backing singer didn't turn up. I don't know what it was. I don't know, Kix, if you remember as well, but it was something happened, and then I had to learn the songs in an hour.
Wow.
I think it was an hour, and I didn't really know much. So, obviously, I know the main lyrics, but I don't know the backing. Yeah. So he had this a set on at the Croissant Neuf stage, which is a massive stage, and it was the time that Beyonce was performing live. Bless Beyonce. But we did have a great crowd, and we sang, and I sang these Bob Marley tracks at Glastonbury, and it was truly one of those, that moment is never going to come again.
Yeah.
It's just define the reason for why I'm doing music. And
that's blessed, Rita. That is blessed. One inspiration, for all the people listening and observing. Our sister here has done some great things, man. And, let's just keep supporting, and more greatness is on the way.
Totally, jobless. So thank you for sharing that with us, Raj. And so this song is actually going to be, after the interview, I'm going to put it on my Song of Solace playlist. But it's actually called #Music Hills. So we just have one place, and then it'll be on there, and then I'll tag you in on Instagram and everything, Raj. So it's all good. I'll be sharing it. We had a couple of questions before we jet off. Who would you like to collab with? Oh, no, sorry. That was the one. Sorry, Kuli, so many questions. Who would you like to collab with?
Oh, wow.
And then, Vinny, I'll come to your question.
Cool. It's really, really hard to pick. I don't want to just say one name, but, I've got friends I want to collab with. I've got people that I look up to.
Isn't that amazing that we can actually say they're friends? Like, there's someone I want to collaborate called Silverfinger. I don't know if you could fit me into his...
Yes, Rita, course. Done though.
Look at my budget out. Yeah, okay.
Definitely, we're gonna have to bring something really spiritual then, Rita.
Yeah,
so
totally,
on that,
anyway, sorry, you were saying back to you. Hey,
done though. Yeah, man.
Done though.
I've got so many friends that I'm yet to collaborate with. I've got people that I look up to. People that I've seen perform live. So it's a really, really tough question, Cully. I think just based on the Song of Solace, and the whole topic and theme that we're discussing today, I would personally love to collaborate with the young lion Skip Marley. Yeah. So.
Hey,
and
you never know. The universe works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, man.
Totally.
I see a very, very amazing similarity. Both the generation below. And living a living legacy, essentially, So that's where I see the similarity there, and both pushing a very, very positive message of unity and strength, So would love for that to happen.
That'd be amazing. And then we'll be like, see, he said there's some music he was like a year ago. I don't know why I said year ago. Hold me to it, yeah. Right, I'm gonna try and dig him out now. Hey, Marley.
Wicked, Rita.
Okay. We're coming on to the end of it. I could speak to you all night, Raj, but I know we've all got to get on. So this is a question that Vinny asked, and this is a question I actually asked. Shout out to my guests anyway. What would you say to youngsters of today to encourage them? So, Raj, if there were three points that if somebody came to you and said, Silverfinger, I love what you do. Can you give me 3 pointers of what I should think about when I become an artist like yourself? So what 3 pointers would you give?
Wow. It's like me.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
Or what you do. Or Why not? You never know who you inspire out there, man. I've
never been asked this question, so thank you for for this question. Yeah. 3 things. Okay, so number 1, be you.
Yes.
Be you. Yeah. You there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So ultimately, please, don't try and be somebody else. At the end of the day, look, so let's just rewind for a second. Yeah. So I shared a story with you guys. I grew up trying to imitate, and be my dad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, look, I've not gone on to be him, have I? Yeah. I am still me. Yeah. I'm still my own person. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although, fully backed by him and encouraged by him. Yeah. But I never fully emulated him per se. I'm still me. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I came out, I am with my own understanding, and I'm here to do me. You know what I mean? Silverfinger Singh, yeah? Mm-hmm. So, ultimately, be yourself, because at the end of the day, whatever's inside, that is a message that you need to bring out. Yeah? We're all here on this earth with a purpose. Yeah, so don't let anybody ever tell you you're not good enough or whatever. Yeah. Everybody's entitled to opportunity, so just go get it. It's out there, just go get it. So number 1, be yourself.
Be yourself.
Yeah. Number 2, part of that is staying true to your roots. So don't disregard where you come from. I wrote a song called Punjabi ID. Yeah. And the whole purpose of that track is to celebrate and highlight who I am as a Punjabi person, despite how I might be, visible to the, to the public. Yeah. And then I'm still kurta pajama. I'm still big beard out. Yeah. Hair back when I need to. So never forget your roots and be proud of who you are.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
embrace who you are. Use that as your foundation to then grow. So whether that's illustration, whether that's vlogging, whether that's writing tracks, whether it's DJing, embrace who you are and share that. And then, because that's how you shine. You shine by by digging your roots deep. Yeah, getting that nutrient from the soil and then growing upwards. You know what I mean? So that's how you shine, by staying true to who you are. Number three. I feel what's also really important is just staying true to your word. So when you say something and you speak it, we spoke about what goes out into the universe. You've got to then own that. Don't be making false promises. Don't be chatting no white lies. If you're gonna speak the truth and speak only the truth. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that try and manipulate the way they say things, and all the rest of it. All I'm trying to say to people right now is just stay true to who you are and own your words. You know what I mean? So if you go out and you say something, stick to it, man, and deliver what exactly. Integrity is the key.
Integrity is the key. Yeah. So, bro, your 3 points while I was writing away. That's the only writing I do now. I started to do it now, and I don't know why, but it's wisdom. Number 1, be you.
Yeah.
Don't imitate, innovate. Number 2, stay true to your roots, and stay true to your words. Number 3. That's amazing. I think that's just amazing. Big love to you, Raj. Thank you so much for coming on to Music Hills. Have you got any last comments or anything that you would like to say to the world that are watching out there, and Lion Marley, should he be ever watching?
Amazing. Yeah, man. Just wanted to first of all, just to say thank you to you, Rita Morar, amazing singer. So, please support my sister doing amazing work. Yeah, love this platform. It's been an absolute blessing to have come on, to have spoken with you this evening, and to share 1 or 2 stories, from myself. Shout out to all the Shout out to all the supporters. Thank you for everybody who sent your questions through. It's been some lovely questions. Just keep showing your support, keep encouraging young artists out there. And don't forget about the old school artists as well, man. Don't forget the legends, man. Don't forget the greats out there as well, man, because a lot of them, if it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't be here doing this today. You know what I mean? So shout out to them too. But just keep encouraging and nurturing the youth. Yeah, because they've all we've got left, in terms of what's next. And it's whatever information we pass on to them will be their foundation. Yeah, so make sure it's the best information possible, Absolutely. And keep it locked. And thank you for all the love. Silverfinger Singh.
Where can we find you, Silverfinger? Where can we find you?
You can find us on all the amazing social media platforms that are available, from the likes of YouTube to Instagram to Facebook and Twitter. Drop us in a little Google search, or you'll find all sorts of great things on there. All our BBC shows, or the interviews.
Yeah. So where's your BBC show on? Is that BBC Leeds?
Yes, BBC Leeds, BBC Radio
Leeds. You're
Leeds.
repping, man. You're repping.
Thank you, representing, man. Yeah, what an absolute blessing it is. We'll be back this Saturday. The mixtape is back, people. So watch out. More fire track, Asian fusion sounds. You don't know.
You don't know. It's been a blessing, man. And will you definitely come back on Music Hills once lockdown is lifted, and we'll do something live and we'll sort something out. It'd be amazing to have you back. And thank you so much for all your wisdom, and keep up the amazing work that you do. I'm not going to call you a jack of all trades, because that's not what you are. You are a multi-talented individual that's making the waves out there. And so just keep just rising, and just know that you've got all our support, and you're part of the Music Hills family now.
Thank you, Rita.
You've always been anyway. You didn't have to come on here just to be part of it anyway.
Yeah, no, we've been friends a long time. So
totally. And give my love to Goldfinger and Rosefinger.
Yeah, man.
I'll see you soon.
I'll send them a shout. Big up to you, Rita. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you for all your questions. Silverfinger Singh, signing out.
Bye. Isn't he amazing? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Raj, for joining us. Silverfinger Singh. If you haven't heard his stuff and you connected with it, please just go and check him out. As I said, multi-talented individual and so humble. And it's very rare to find a humble individual that's got so much wisdom in him. I think I've learned so much. I'm actually going to watch this back. I watch all of these back anyway, but the insights of the tabla and growing up around greatness, and it makes a person more humble with their grounding for their talent. So please do keep supporting everybody. And Kuli, thank you so much for your love and support as well. Next week, we have the one and only, and I'm so blessed. This sister is going to be with me, Sonia Panissa. Sonia and I go back a long way back, and we've seen the ins and outs of like music, and I've seen her grow, and is another beautiful woman out there that's making music and making waves, and I really can't wait to speak to my son. It's just amazing. And once again, I'd like to say happy International Women's Day to all you amazing women out there, and to all you amazing men out there that support your women. We are nothing without you too. So big love to all of you. Remember, we now have a website. With God's blessings, I've been able to put like a website together. I never thought I would say this to you, but musicheals.info is there. And if you'd like to contribute and help me out a little, I'm independent. I do this all by myself. You can buy me a coffee, and it'll make all the difference to my music and Music Heals. All right, guys, I want to sign out now. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you next Monday. Take care, and remember, Music Heals. Bye.